Hi guys, it's me JB with a 5-minute review of yesterday's game. Firstly, I'm going to touch on the controversial incident yesterday because that's what it for Tottenham. I'm fuming at that. This morning I'm still angry about it. Nearly 18, 16, 17 hours on, where you know, it's still very raw emotionally, frustrating emotionally, and yeah, it's fair to say I'm not very pleased about it. But I'm going to go into the team performance before I touch on the refereeing. I can't rant because I'm one of us. I'm going to Manchester today, seeing a friend, but that's why I'm, you know. Anyway, my review on the team performance. I thought the team performance was excellent. I thought Michael Jackson and Burnley got it right, spot on. Certainly in the tactics. Only criticism I'll have is they should have brought on VAR maybe a bit sooner. Apart from that though, no complaints. The players gave everything they had. They gave Tottenham a heck of a game. On another day, Ashley Barnes would have had an equalising goal, where he's cracked a shot, hit a right-footed shot from just outside the box, and he's cracked the left-hand post and bounced out. Sometimes at the top end of the table they fly in, the wrong end of the table they inevitably stay out. So it's, you know, it's a very disappointing. That was a very disappointing thing, and I felt at that time our name wasn't going to be on the game. You know, it is very disappointing. You know, Maxwell had a chance at
Next stop, Manchester Road Rail Station.
Excuse the guy in the background. Maxwell had a chance at 0-0, fouled by Lloris. Yeah, Maxwell should have really gone round the goalkeeper or tried to bend the ball around the goalkeeper. He didn't. Having said that though, credit to Lloris, he made a good save and kept Spurs in it. Spurs started really well, of course. Son Heung-min, Harry Kane, you know what you're going to get from those two. They were hard, you know, hard. I mean, they had a few half chances. Pope made a couple of saves which you would expect him to save. He saved really good from Emerson Royale, tipping one over the top. But not at any stage during that first half yesterday did I actually feel that we were in any danger of conceding until the 4th minute of injury time when Tottenham get a controversial decision. What's happened is there's a corner comes in, and basically Davinson Sanchez has pushed Barnes off balance. So Barnes' arms are stretched out like that.
Next stop, Rose Hill Road.
And Davinson Sanchez gets the ball, hooks the ball forward, and Barnes is no more than about a centimetre from the ball. So what is he supposed to do? Brushes his arm, and he only brushes his arm. Now under the laws of the game, and the laws are an arse. I just want to make that. The law is an ass. I just want to make that perfectly clear. The rule makers of POGO, whatever they call themselves, professional game match officials, whatever they call them, these muppets call themselves, they're not good enough. He's brushed his arm, but he's off balance. That's the point. He's ball to hand. He can't get out of the way of it. It's a sentiment. Now, in fact, if we try to get a similar decision down the other end of the field, we 9 times out of 10 would not get that decision, and that is something I find very hard to accept right now. This is you know, at the end of the day, we're in a battle with Leeds and Everton to stay in the Premier League. We're playing for high stakes. We're playing to stay in the Premier League and £180 million for next year. These officials, I know they've got a tough job. I'm not saying referees are about them, not all of them. Everton fans will concur with the refereeing fraternity as well. They got some. To be fair, I saw their match yesterday, and I thought the Everton players got. I thought Everton got a raw deal from the ref.
We are now approaching London Crowd.
It is very, very disappointing. And I look at the decision to give Spurs a penalty, and I think that's a bad decision.
Next stop,
a terrible
Gainsborough
decision.
Avenue.
These referees are imposters. You know, Michael over at Everton yesterday, Kevin Friend and Stuart Atwell on VAR yesterday. they're not good enough. And Mike Connery made a point yesterday. He said something in a ring to me yesterday.
The next stop is at the summit.
He said to me that there were, you know, is it anyone who knows there was no referees at the English referees at the last World Cup? Well, the way things are going right now, I don't think there'll be any at this World Cup later in Qatar, because they're not good enough. They're not fit for purpose. VAR was supposed to help them with an aid, but they're using it now to recheck decisions and really have a second go at it. That's not what the technology was brought in for. And it, as a supporter, it really, really annoys the frigging arse off me. And, you know, it annoys the arse off managers, players, pundits, commentators, and more often than not supporters. It's not good enough, it's not feasible enough.
Next stop,
and it really gives me the hump. Because if that decision sends us down, then I'm sorry, then the referee, then Stuart Atwell and Kevin French should be sacked. Because that was collusion of the highest scale. And I don't mince my words. People might think I'm bitter, I'm this and I'm that and the other. I'm trying not to be bitter, but it's very hard at this moment in time. We've got 2 games left and we have to win at least one of them, if not both, to stay in the division. Leeds have got 1 game left at Brentford, who had a good win yesterday against Everton despite the referee mishaps at that game. But it's very, very frustrating because, going back to a Burnley point of view, because, you know, if that decision is still 0-0, we're halfway there. I mean, it's no guarantee we would have won, go out and took a point. It would have given us a much greater chance. You know, if we'd have lost yesterday and we'd have lost fairly and squarely, then I would have said I would have had no problems at all with it, right? It wasn't something I expected. I didn't expect us to win the game. I thought we'd draw the game. We came very close to doing that. If Barnes scores, you know, status quo, spiritual balance, whatever it is, restored. Leeds got lucky yesterday. I didn't think they played well in their match, and but for some bizarre reason they got 6 minutes of added time. But that's by the by. You know, we can't rely on Brighton or any other team now to take care of business. We've got to take care of our own business.
Please get off here for the new wagoners.
You know, it's quite plain to see. So we've got to help ourselves rather than help other teams. The other teams help us. We've got to take care. We've got game in hand now, ourselves and Everton. So we've now got to look at it now and just think, right, we need to start looking at getting more points on the board. We've got a Villa Park on Thursday night. We got to the Villa. We need to win that game. But as I said, finishing off with the team performance, I thought the team performance was smashing. Nothing wrong with the performance of the team. We looked really, really comfortable. We didn't look cumbersome in any way, shape or form. We were, you know, to a man, superb.
Next stop, Tottenham Road.
It's one ridiculous decision that's cost us 3 points, or possible point yesterday. But as far as the team performance is concerned, we look at the complete team yesterday. No 5 key players out. No Tarky, no me, no Westy, no Vids, and no J-Rod.
That was this stop for Cloudbridge Reservoir.
Yes, quite. Yes, then, you know, you've got to take some heart from it. And if we play anything like that, you know, maybe Maxwell and Barnsley, if they take their chances, it's a different ball game. But we now have to take it on, however disappointing that the manner in the defeat, we've got to accept it and move on. And move on now, because it's just not good enough. And, you know, we can't afford to draw on it. But I've got to say, Stuart Atwell and Kevin Friend, you should never, ever be allowed to referee a football match ever again. Because your display yesterday on that penalty was a complete and utter disgrace.